Okay, welcome to part 4. I can't believe we've already gotten up to 4 parts, and we are barely in the middle.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a really long episode, so I hope you guys enjoy it. And like I said, with the 15 minutes, it might make it a little bit easier for you to kind of pay a little more attention than like my big, long, like hour episodes.
Yeah.
Where it's like hard to kind of like, you're just so in and out. Even like no matter who you are, like I'm always in and out with my podcast that I enjoy too.
Yeah.
So, all right, so let's kind of pick up where we left off.
Okay, so we were just talking about The Voice and like weird stuff happening in the house. So I ended up leaving that job a few months later, actually, for a few different reasons. So I stopped staying there. So I feel like this all started happening when I was really young. So I'm almost to the point where I'm not scared, but like I'm almost desensitized.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're just kind of used to it. It's just like almost normal.
Yeah. So honestly, when I talk to it's not like I'm going off and telling random people the time about all the crazy.
Guess what fucking happened to me today?
Because I would sound crazy, but I forget that it's not super normal.
I know. Well, like the same here. Like I always feel so weird because like even like my fiance is very supportive. Like he's a good dude. Like
yeah.
And it's never happened to him, but he wants it to happen to him. Ooh. So I'm hoping because like he'll we'll be living together soon that he'll like I want it to happen because I don't want to seem nuts. So crazy. Yeah. Because like he's just like he's like one time I thought maybe there was something in my room, but then it was a pile of clothes. I'm like.
Okay.
Okay. Like, I mean, what? It's just, I don't know. Like, I'm just glad that he's supportive, but like, I just want to be able to like talk to like him about stuff like this that happens because like I do say stuff that happens to me and like it's not like he brushes it off, but like because he's never experienced it, he can't be like, oh my god, like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He'd just be like, wow, babe. Yeah. That's
a little.
I can't wait for it to happen to me. Like, sometimes I feel like he's just being shit.
And he says that now that he can't wait for it to
I know. And now something crazy is going to happen, and I'm never going to want to, like, be like, look what you did.
But actually, you and I were there recently, and we both.
Oh my god!
We both witnessed something.
And see, like the thing of it is, like what happened wasn't scary.
No, not at all.
It was just. It was weird.
And I think the thing that kind of solidifies it to me was I was just going to brush it off.
Yeah.
And then I saw you react.
And I was going to I didn't want to say anything because because I knew how Aunt Mimi feels.
Yes.
And I didn't want to like make, because like I'm just like my face, it was like more of like a shock, like how do I respond to this information?
Yeah.
But like, and like you could see by like, I'm very readable. So I can't even like hide it with like if something happens. So like, even if they saw my face, like, oh my god, what was it? Like, oh, nothing. And they're gonna be like, bullshit. Like, you lying. Okay, so do you want to like start and like maybe like I can kind of elaborate like how, because it's so hard to describe.
Yeah, so it was you, me, and Mimi, and was there was I think Lisa was there.
Yeah.
And I think we had
we were watching.
Were we just discussing, or did we start discussing afterwards?
I don't know, because we were watching Ghost Adventures before.
Okay.
So I'm sure it was probably just like a conversation we were just kind of having all together. I do feel like I feel like it was kind of later when that happened.
Yeah, because I was like leaving. You and I were both
we were both getting ready to leave. So we had been having that conversation, which sometimes, like you say, like when you talk about it, like I don't know if it's just like gives it power, or if we're making our minds more open, or if because we've been talking about it, we're like, oh my god, But like, okay, so we were sitting by each other. We were on like the same couch. Isn't there like kind of like a partition-y thing like between the seats, like so you can like put like your cups and stuff in it. So we weren't like sitting next to each other. It was like it's kind of like a 3-seated couch, but like the middle seat is like a little table.
Yeah.
And so that couch, if you turn to your right, if you turn your head to your right, you can see into the bathroom, which has been discussed more than once.
Yeah.
Through the duration of this, like, you know, all these parts.
Yeah.
How I would describe it, like, you know, because it's so hard to describe, even though it's such a simple thing that we saw.
Yeah.
How I would describe it would be like, you know, when a car is driving at night and you can see like their lights kind of like do that weird thing in your house.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I would describe it, but it was really small.
Concentrated.
It was very concentrated.
Yeah.
And it was like gold yellow.
Yes.
It was bright. But it wasn't so bright that it like lit up a room.
Yeah. It's going to sound kind of nerdy, but you know, like the little snicket from Harry Potter? It was kind of like that
See,
size.
I always like, it was like, to me, I'm like, it's like a fairy.
Yeah.
It's like, it was like a concentrated, like kind of rectangular, but it wasn't like solid, like, you know, when a car drives by, it's like a solid, it was like pulsating.
Yes.
Almost, I guess.
And it was real quick.
It
wasn't
wasn't
a matter
like
of seconds.
It was, yeah, it was just like a, it was probably like a,
yeah,
like
through the
yeah, I was under 5 seconds. It was just one of those, like, you looked at it, then you realized what you were looking at, and then it was gone. By the time you're like, oh.
Yeah. We were in the middle of a conversation, and I caught it out of the corner of my eye, and I saw you react. And at first, I was just going to play it off. As like,
I was too, but like I said, there's not really hiding my emotions.
Well, I saw you, and I was like, did you just,
and
like, literally,
I know.
Did you just, and you're like, yeah, and it's like, okay, me too. We just kind of went back to the conversation.
Yeah, and then they're like, what?
Yeah.
And then that led to like an insane conversation, which I almost wish I would have thought about this. Put that bad boy up when we were talking about it. That could be actually a really fun episode to just have a circle conversation about stuff like that. That could be really good.
Yeah.
Next episode, Dana and Amy, me and you and Margot and oh my god.
Okay.
All right. Well, but that was, like I said, it wasn't scary. There's nothing scary. It was just weird. It was just kind of like, oh well, you know, we are.
Yeah.
Here.
And again, that goes towards it's that one corner of the house.
Yeah. Yeah, and like kind of give a little more context too. I know that we've already talked about it, but like the bedroom where she had the bunk beds with, like literally it's like they meet in like a V. Like they're like they share a corner, basically. So it's like if you walk out of the bedroom, if you turn, you're either looking at the other bedroom
or you're like in the
bathroom.
Yeah.
So like I don't know what it is about like the corner. And like I said, like since the bedroom shares a closet, so like it's the closet, it's the bedroom, it's the bathroom, and every single time I go to that bathroom, I feel like something's gonna like pop out. Okay.
So I have a thing with mirrors.
Yes, me too. I don't sleep with mirrors.
In front of the toilet.
Yeah, it's a mirror. Like you literally watch yourself on the toilet. Like it's just like.
So I
think that might be why I feel uneasy is because of the mirror, but also in that same token, like you already know that it's like a weird area.
Yeah.
But every single time, like I was there, like 2-3 weeks ago. It was just her and I watching movies, and like I went in there, and I'm like, I have the smallest bladder in all of America. I've been here for like an hour and a half, and I've peed about 12 times. But like every time I'd go in there, I'd be like, I just feel, and it might just be the mirrors. A combination mirrors and like just the preconceived notions of that house in that area in particular. Like every time I go into the bathroom, I'm like, I don't want to shut the door. I don't want to I'm like when I'll just like just chatting as I'm turning the light on because I don't even want to face like inside the dark. Like and I'm just like okay. And like sometimes like, but I feel like that too. Like when I pee at night at my parents' house, like sometimes like I get the feeling that something's like gonna like pop up or something, and so like I'll like pee with my eyes closed and like my head down and like I'll run out.
Well, do you ever get the like you feel like you shouldn't be looking in a certain area?
Yes, that's it.
But you cannot look away.
But, like, and also, like, you feel like you shouldn't be looking in a certain area, but in that same token, in that situation, there's really nowhere else for you to look.
Yes.
And that's why, like I said, like, in my parents' house, it's not every time I pee. It's just every once in a while, like, last night in particular. But, again, there was activity that following day, which could kind of lead to it. But, like, it was just, like, I have to get up and pee in the middle of the night. And I was just, like, sitting there, first I was looking down and I was like, oh, this isn't good. Like, I just still felt like something was going to happen. So I was just closing my eyes. And then when I was done, I was just like, because I didn't want to turn the light on because it was like a time where I could have gotten awake and been awake for the day. It was like 5. Like, I don't want to be awake, but like, and so I don't want to like ruin it.
Exactly. Like, if I turn the light on, I'm not going back to bed. So
it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't happen all the time. But I do remember, like, especially for whatever reason in my house, like, I always got freaked out, like, if I'd go to the restroom at night and, like, the curtain wasn't closed all the way. Like, the bath, yeah, like the tub curtain. I don't know why. It could just be, like, I'm anal. But, like... And like, still to this day, like, I don't like it if the curtain's open. Like, even if it's, like, a peek, I can't. It bothers me.
Really?
I feel like there's going to be, like, something in there and it's going to, like, grab me. I don't know.
Well, for myself, it either has to be all the way open or all the way shut.
See, I think I prefer it all the way shut just due to, like, it just, I don't want to see inside of my tub. That's just me. But, like, I don't know. And it's just weird. And I don't remember, like, because I feel like nothing spooky really happened to me until I moved to that house. Like, because we lived in an apartment for, like, a long time. And then before that, we were just around.
Yeah.
So I just don't really remember anything paranormal happening until we did move, which I would have been, like, 9-ish when we lived in that house. But, like, it's also okay. So, like, they say, like, when anybody hits puberty, it's kind of like a heightened thing.
Yeah.
So I was about that age. So is that a contributing factor or...
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the house. I don't know if it's the me. I don't know. Like, and it's just...
Yeah.
It's just hard to say.
Well, and... at least for my grandfather's house, I'm not, like, the only one that could say they walked into the house and feel it. People that had never been there before, like my friends growing up, would walk in and be like, whoa.
What the fuck?
What is going on here?
And that, actually, now that you say that, I was actually happy because I'd been saying this to my parents for years. Years. And I finally got validation shortly after I moved out. I'm like, thank you. Like, and because I'd always say stuff, and I was like, you just watch too much ghost shows. You listen to too many, like, read too many, like, horror novels, and all. I was like, no, like, I'm telling you. And then I believe it was the first episode where I discussed, like, some of my stuff that happened. And so if you want to listen to it, you have to listen to the first episode because I'm not gonna tell. But, like, so, like, and it was kind of validating because I'm like, okay, so, like, it's not just me.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. After we moved out of the house and we were, like, living in Marseilles for a little bit, and then I was living with Gage, like, nothing weird happened there. You know what I mean? I can't say that, like, I just go everywhere and I automatically see, like, weird and hear weird stuff. It was just that house.
I know. It's weird, but it's almost like a confirmation, I feel like, because it's like, okay, so, like, if you're seeing something everywhere, like, I feel like that's a you problem.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I mean,
just
some people are, like,
conclusions.
mediums, but, like, that is so rare if that's even, like, real. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, I wouldn't, it's just nice that, like, you at least got to get away from it, so to speak, because, like, you probably didn't even think about it.
No. And that's the thing, is, like, I just, like, we moved out of that house and nothing weird happened.
Yeah.
So I feel like whatever it is, it's attached to that house.
Oh, absolutely. No, I would, because it's not like we would ever bring anything home or, like, and just, like, even Margot's episode, which was a few episodes, I think it was the fourth, whatever, not the first episode. It was one of the episodes.
Second or third.
It was, like, one of my last episodes before this happened. She talks a lot about that, too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, since we have some time left, we're going to just cut it off here and we're going to pick up in part 5. Oh my God. This is a long one. We just, and it's good because we haven't had to cut anything out that was irrelevant. Yeah. I feel like that happens a lot when I had Margot, just because, we're just chatty people.
Yeah.
And we're actually staying on track for the most part. So, join us for part 5 here in a little bit.